Well, once again, welcome to D-Bomb's Garage. Did a little bit of shuffling around this morning off camera. I got Toyota out of the shop. Hopefully they'll be here sometime this week to pick it up and get it out of here. Got the minivan done out of the shop. Got the CAMARO back up on the lift. A bunch of parts have come in for the rear suspension, as far as the bushings and the spring plates, new shocks, but that's going to be something I'll do a little bit later. Right now I'm just trying to finish up some of the bell housing stuff. I pulled the header out of the driver's side so I can do a little grinding on that, make the room for the water temp sensor. And I still really need that side cover with the shift forks. Be so nice to have that. And I'll take the transmission back out, wash it out. It feels like everything's good in there. Next thing is to find a radiator fan shroud. I do have some billet pulleys that have come off of another motor. I don't know if these are going to work for this or not. There's only going to be 2 belts on here, the water pump, alternator, and the power steering pump, which I can't find any of my the power steering pump port or anything in my junk yet. Haven't really looked. So I think right now I'll put the cover on that I got for this. When I got everything for the bell housing, I got the cover shield, dust cover shield. Where'd it go? It was just up there. I was going to go right there. My starter bolts came in for the starter. I'll probably put the starter up in place. My header gaskets should be in sometime today. So I think I'll start with the cover real quick, get the cover up into place, and probably put the starter up in place. So want to line up. So there's a starter. It's got the cast iron snout on it rather than the aluminum. It means I gotta have shorter bolts. So I got these from ARP, and they are shorter by a few inches, by about an inch, maybe, I can't remember. You probably use the aluminum housing, but I figured this is what was on it to begin with. That's what I'm gonna put back on it. So this would be the standard bolt for the aluminum. This would be the one for the cast iron. And you can see the length difference in them. About an inch. Clean the bolt holes out a little bit before I attempt to put it up underneath there. Let's see if I can't find my drive shaft. Missed my end caps, but the end's pretty rusty. But should be able to clean it up. Well, it ain't bad. do is do a little bit of 400 and some oil on that. See if we can't get it cleaned up. Well, it's a little better. Not by much, but for getting it tested, that's fine. So. All right, got the right drive shaft. I found the right drive shaft for it, so a little more work on it, it'll work okay. I went ahead and put the starter up in place, get the shield in place. I just got to trim that header up. Get the header back in place, waiting on the gaskets. When the gasket comes in, I can get the right side finished. Tighten all the bolts down. Clean the fuel pump area up. I got blow through the lines, both lines there. Get the fuel pump in, get the lines in. I did do some work yesterday on the CAMARO. Unfortunately, the camera was not turned on. I did that. So what I did get done yesterday was I had to pull the starter out, pull the dust shield off again, and get it to stop hitting on the header or on the flywheel. It was bent, even though it was new. Got the oil filter up in there. The header gaskets are in. Got the fuel pump up in place. Out yesterday. Now it's a matter of getting everything under here cleaned. I'm going to clean it all the way up to here, because I got to do some patching on the floor pans back here. As I do things, I find something that's wrong or I don't like. And I say I'm just going to throw the car together. That doesn't happen, unfortunately, with me sometimes. So here we go. There's right hand leaf spring. Got all the bolts for the right hand side in the baggie. I cleaned it up, painted it last night. A few runs in it, but yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Got the leaf spring done. Got the lower plate. Got the front mount. I got to run to the store, get some more paint so I can paint it one more time. I picked up bushings for it, both sides, and I picked up the spring mounting plates. Right there. The other ones probably would have been fine, but again, I seen how they were starting to deteriorate on the outside. So again, my better judgment, I went ahead and got some new ones. I'll do the ones up here, so they'll all be a poly. So right now I gotta clean up the mess. The other thing I did take the fuel line down. I'm gonna clean that up. Fuel line is all good. The brake line and the vent, one of the vents, was all good. The one vent tube though was messed up right here, so I'm just gonna do a quick patch on that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'll clean these all up, put them back on. The rear brake lines seem to be all right, so I'll clean those up, put those back on after I get done with the differential. I'll pull the brake drums off. As you can see, they've never been off. Got the factory keepers on there. Same thing on this side. Never been apart. Or if they are, somebody had put the keepers back on, which is kind of a rarity. I had to cut the e-brake cables off. Gonna have to get new ones. The front one, I think I'm gonna get a new one on that one also. The whole kit. Got to run a tap down through all these. Clean this surface up. Mating surface for the U-joint. But for right now, I'm going to get I'm going to sweep up my floors and move stuff around. So with that, I'm going to put you on time lapse here. So here we go. Well, I got some of the floor cleanup done. I still gotta clean my bench off a little bit more, and I'm gonna have to make a run to town for some kerosene. I'm out of kerosene for my heaters. And I gotta pick up the paint that I want for getting all this done. As I said, I'm gonna get it cleaned up to these sections here, because I still gotta do the pan here, some patching on this one. I'm gonna clean a bunch of this stuff up once I get to that point. I got repair to do there by the header, and I can clean up all the brake lines and fuel lines. So hopefully today I should have the differential back together and all this cleaned up. Maybe have the differential back underneath the vehicle, and the fuel lines and the brake lines back up underneath it. So I'll have that much done, that much closer to getting her back on the road. Something I was forgetting to say, but not sure on what it was. This one's gonna be a short one today, so I guess I'm gonna have to get ready to make my run to town. With that being said, for now, I'm out. Later all. Well, it's another day. D-Bomb's garage, Dennis Bomb here. Working on a CAMARO. I got some cleaning of the undercarriage done for the rear. As usual, I always get sidetracked on other things that have to be done to the car. This morning I forgot to turn on the camera as it started, but was pulling out gas tanks that I got, trying to figure out which one is the best one. This is the old one. I did disassemble it a bit. The float unit is junk. That's a 2-line. The one that was in a nicer tank or newer tank is a single line. One that I think I got this out of a Firebird, is a dual line. So I got to pull this sending unit out and see if it's any good. If it's not any good, then I got to order a sending unit for it. This vent, I think, was cut. Can't say for sure, because this one's got the vent, walks all the way around. Same thing on that one. It was full vent, walked all the way around, come back around. I got the differential all painted. Got the U-bolt straps, new ones in the other day. Cleaned out the threads, got that back together, or ready to go back together. Repainted the spring this morning. That's for the driver's side. I'll start to set that one up later. I still have to clean all my fuel lines and vent tubes and rear brake lines. Underneath the car's really clean. Rust wise, all surface, as far as your main spots for everything to bolt up to, it is solid all the way through. I do have a spot right here to take care of. Where was the other spot? Same thing on this side. Gotta do that. Rear valance, there's a spot there. A spot here. And there's a spot right there on the quarter. But all in all, it's very good shape. Other than the floor pans, I got some pinholes in that. Driver side rear, passenger rear. Driver side front only had a couple. Passenger side, I got a couple spots, and then right at the seam right there, it's coming apart. But as of right now, I don't have the money to do that, so I figured I'll jump on something else, do the rear end, get that all back up in there, get it back to a roller, get the brake lines back up in there, fuel lines back up in there. I would like to have the fuel tank back up in there, but until I figure out what I need, that's gonna be good enough. So as of right now, I'm gonna put you back on the time lapse and continue on cleaning. My face might be dirty because I was already cleaning this morning. So here we go. Well, I got a lot more of the cleaning done. I think it's going to be as good as I'm going to get it right now. I think I'm going to start spraying, get some black up underneath there. Undercoat my areas up through here. Spray the rest of it black. So this is all covered. When I start putting it back together, it'll be all nice-ish. I hope. And then I gotta start cleaning up all the shackles and the other bits and pieces I've got. I'll start putting them back in. I still have a bolt to get out of this spring perch. Get that out. Start putting my bushings in after a while. I gotta clean out the bushing holes. So the bushings will slide in, but so I'm gonna sweep my floor real quick, put you back on time lapse. Shouldn't take me that long to get the floor swept and blow off the undercarriage. So my face is probably dirty as heck. So here we go, back to time lapse. My face is probably all black, but it is painted. Looks better. Actually, it looks a whole lot better. A few runs in there. I'm gonna let this dry. I might hit it one more time. I'm not sure on that, but it looks a whole lot better. And it's lunchtime, so I'm gonna go get lunch. I don't know if I'll continue today on this or not. I'll leave the heaters on for a little bit longer. Keep it up. I'm gonna cut them off at have at least 60 degrees in here. I might come back and knock that other spring perch off the spring, clean up all the shackles and get these all painted up. Get ready to put the springs back up in place. So I can get the rear end back in it. Again, I got to clean up these fuel lines and brake lines. As I said, those look like they're in really great shape. So with that being said, for now I'm out. Remember, hit the like button, hit the share, and hit the subscribe. Hopefully this year I have better things coming up. Hopefully I can pick up some sponsors and I'll go from there. As for now, this is Dennis Baum, D-Bomb's Garage. I'm out. Later all. I got one heater going. See, I've got it undercoated, painted. Come out all right. Maybe not perfect. Then again, it's not a perfect car. I have a couple touch-up spots to do. Now it's just time to clean up my bump stops. Hangers for the mufflers, brake line clamp, bump stops, shackles, get them all cleaned up. Then I'll start reassembling it. Oh, I'm back in the shop. I did a bunch of stuff off camera that was miscellaneous, tedious stuff. I put the bump stops back in. I've got new shocks set up in place. I got my mounting bracket for the exhaust on both sides. I got my bushings put in for the upper springs on both sides. I got them loose fitting until I get the weight on there. I got my one brake line bracket in. Got my center bump stop in. I did assemble the leaf spring, put the perch on. The cushion's just set on there, and the rear bushings. The rear bushings and the front bushings on when the spring is off is real easy to do. You grease them and then tap one side in on both sides and then flip it and do the other sides. The biggest pain is getting these bushings out. You know, they have several ways of doing it. I used the drill. It took me a little bit of time, but I got that one out. A bunch of things are painted, ready to reassemble. I got kind of set side by side, what side is what side. Tomorrow, I think I will go ahead and clean all the brake and fuel lines up and put them up underneath there, so that is done. And I should have the rear end back up into place hopefully tomorrow, and fuel lines in, and hopefully one of these gas tanks if I don't have to get another sending unit for it. And it should be back on all fours. I had to pick up 2 U-joints for the dry shaft. I might dig through my yokes and see if I have a better yoke than this. If not, I might have to order one. I still desperately need that side cover with all the levers and the 2 shift forks for that transmission, the M21. So if anybody's got one out there, get in contact with me. I'd be glad to try to work a deal out with you on it, or unless you want to donate it. As I said, I took 2 steps forward with the car, 10 steps back, but once again, I'm making progress on it, more than I have in the last 11 years. I think I got this car 2011. I think it was 2011. I had to look back through some of my photos because I had a tune port motor in it for a little while. Never finished it. I had it running on ether, but other things came into play and had to go. With that, I am calling it a day. I'm kind of tuckered. Rear end is a posi. So tomorrow I'll clean up the gas tank straps, the right hand spring, fuel lines, brake lines, get those all back up in place, and then I'll check out and see what gas tank I can end up using in this thing. With that, I am gonna call it a day. Hopefully it either heats up and dries up out there so I can get things moved around outside. My big white truck got a flat tire on the left front for some reason. Don't know why, but it did. The other thing I forgot about was my rear sway bar. I got everything for it. I think somebody painted the caps and covers red and painted it silver. So I have to sand it down. I'll paint it black. paint all the ends black again. I think this is my bushing kit for it. Here it is. Yep. Don't have to worry about those. I can change those out. Well, there's gonna be a pain in the focus. These ones here. And these ones here. Where the heck? Oh, never mind. I know where they go. Got them right here. So to clean those up, repaint them, and I'll get the rear sway bar back up in the place where it belongs. I think somebody stole the other one because, again, all the holes were there. These two that hold the bottom on were missing the nuts. This side was gone completely, but I know oh where did my little tub go? Oh where can it be? Nope. How can I lose a tub with parts in it? I just fine and dandy. My little tote is gone with all my parts in it. I'll look for it tomorrow. Right now my shoulder's hurting, kind of tired, just a wee bit. So, with that, I am going to call it a day. That'll be the end of this. Well, that's it. I'm done. Let me get my safety glasses off my noggin. Everything's turned off. Gotta grab my phone. Yeah, my boy's Mustang is inside the shop. So stopped running on him. I had it towed here. First thing I did, pull the dipstick, and there's not a drop of oil on it. But we figured it out. What happened to it is the slides on the rear of the timing chain went out. So it's down. I'm gonna have to pull the motor out, do the timing chains on this one. But it is what it is. With that all, like, subscribe, share. Until next video, I'm out all.